Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Duke, and we are jumping back in again today with The Letter. Now, previously on The Letter, we met Isabella, a realtor with the Briar Realty Corporation, assigned to help sell the infamous Ermengarde Mansion, a gorgeous but seriously haunted estate with a dark history. Once owned by a William and Elizabeth Ermengarde, they died during the plague. But the mansion and its fortune were passed to their daughter, Charlotte, the last known resident who tragically met a, shall we say, game over ending under grim circumstances. In the present day, Isabella is doing her job until things start to go sideways. After checking in with a coworker Rose and catching up with her friend Becca, Isabella ends up in the mansion's attic where Rose is supposed to be, but is nowhere to be found. Instead, Isabella finds a letter with the words, "Help me," written over and over in a crimson red. And that's when she shows up. Ghost, spirit, demon, whatever it is. It chases Isabella straight down the stairs. Isabella falls. We black out. And that's where we pick up for today. A buzz breaks the silence. I start to rouse, pulled into consciousness against my will. I've never felt this tired before. I just want to sleep, but the insistent buzzing, poking, and prodding isn't letting me. My old mattress may not be the comfiest of places, but that doesn't make me any more eager to wake up.
Isabella. 5 more minutes, Becca.
I swat at what is nudging persistently at my side. Can't I just get a few minutes of sleep today? I promise I'll work hard once I'm up. A hand lightly taps my cheek, and something cold is suddenly being pressed at the back of my head. The icy sensation slowly spreads throughout the area, giving me an uncomfortable feeling.
April, it's your house. Isabella? Isabella? Stop. Can you hear me? Isabella?
The fog immediately lifts from my mind the moment I recognize the voice, and my eyes snap open. There, looking down at me, is Rose. Another woman loiters beside her, but my attention is too focused on my co-agent to even ask why someone else is with her. Rose's posture just screams worry, although she's keeping a straight face, or trying to at least. I can't help but feel bad for making her fret. A wave of dizziness crashes over me as soon as I try to get up, forcing me to lie back down. Luckily, the feeling subsides after a few seconds, until only a mild throbbing somewhere at the back of my head remains. With a little assistance from Rose, I push myself upright. She hands me an ice pack and gestures for me to press it where I suspect a small bump has already formed, if the light ache in the area indicates anything.
All right, Isabella, where are we?
The Ermengarde Mansion. Why? Ow, my head.
And the date today?
October 21st? Rose.
Last one. Can you count to 15 in reverse order?
15, 14, 13, 12 teen. No, that's wrong. Why are we doing this?
She's just checked if your injury is in any way serious.
This time, I curiously regard the woman standing beside Rose. It's impossible to overlook her, what with the way she towers over us. And here I thought Rose is already tall. Who is she anyway? One of the remaining cleaning crews? But with how primly dressed she is, I don't think anyone would want to clean in a suit, an expensive suit at that. The gloves alone must have already cost a fortune. Her eyes slowly shift between me and Rose, considering us with an almost unreadable expression, before finally fixing a sharp gaze on me. Can't help but fold my arms protectively over myself as she does so. She may be far from a cleaning crew, but she certainly looks like our supervisor during an evaluation.
Just do it, please.
I eye them both warily, but recite everything as she has asked. Rose releases a breath of relief once I'm done.
You scared me for a moment there. I was about to call for an ambulance. Are you all right?
Exasperation soon replaces the dull ache. The memory's a little fuzzy, but the attic and
There was someone, Rose. In the attic.
Someone? You mean a client? Oh, that's unlikely. It's probably just one of the cleaning crews. The boss sent a few of them back this morning for some last minute.
No, not any of those. I'm not actually sure. Wait, didn't I call you? You said you were in the attic when you answered. That's why I went there in the first place.
both Rose and the lady look at me as I've just grown another head. Did I say something weird? Rose quickly casts an apologetic smile at the woman before the awkward silence stretches on further. It's her saleswoman smile, the same one she taught me when I was still her trainee. I should show this to troublesome clients, or just to avoid trouble in general, she advised. It's also the same one she gives me when I've done something particularly absurd that may cause us to lose a potential sale. Her eyes are serious when she turns back to me. She takes both of my shoulders, gently squeezes it, with as much patience as she can muster.
As much as I'd love to have gotten at least a heads up of your arrival, I didn't really get a call from you. You know, signal here is absolutely horrendous. I was in the garden earlier and couldn't even make a single call. Isabella, I'm going to ask again. Are you really all right? What happened?
I don't know. It's all a bit blurry. I remember I was looking for you, but you weren't in the attic. And there's whoever it is. Then I must have tripped on a rug or something on the way down. Oh no. Do you think someone came in while you were out? You left the main door open. We are so going to get into big trouble if something gets stolen, Rose.
Perhaps it is a concussion.
Are you sure you feel fine? We could still call for an ambulance. I could cover for you.
No, I'm fine. I'm okay, Rose. I can work.
Wait. Hold your horses, Rose. I can't miss an important sale just because of a minor bump in the head. An extremely minor bump. I've had worse when I was a kid. This is nothing.
Besides, if I leave, you'll have to shoulder everything in the open house, alone. And in a mansion this big?
Well, there's also the part where I may lose that bonus BRC promised, but that's completely beside the point. Rose gives me a skeptical look when I return the cold compress to her and push myself off the floor. I have to use the staircase's railings to steady myself, but otherwise, I feel fine.
See? I'm A-okay.
The two of them exchange a worried glance, and Rose assumes a contemplative look. I bite my lower lip in anticipation. If she says no...
All right, you in.
A smile threatens to slip out from me.
But if I see that you aren't feeling well, I'm taking you personally to the nearest clinic to have you checked. Clear?
Clear as day, ma'am. Thanks, Rose.
You insisted. But remember what I said. First sign of you looking not okay, and we're off. No questions asked.
It's just a small bump. Don't worry.
You shouldn't downplay these kinds of things. It could be a serious injury for all we know.
Suddenly, a small cough sounds against the walls of the foyer, interrupting our banter. The woman is looking expectantly at the two of us, her stare making me shrink back a little on myself. She isn't really intimidating. Well, she is. But not in the scary, negative way. Far from it, actually. Her demeanor simply commands an air of sophistication and respect. In a different world, a younger me probably would have wished to be like her. At our lack of response, she coughs again, lifting a well-trimmed eyebrow at me in question. Words get caught in my throat at the sight of it, and Rose, as usual, is swift to catch my blunders.
My sincerest apologies, Mrs.
Miss McCulloch. Marianne McCulloch.
He hands Rose her business card. The words interior designer catch my eyes before my partner flips it over. Oh, probably someone interested in the mansion for its 17th century influences then. I wouldn't hold it against her, though. Despite the hearsays and remaining uninhabited for years, the mansion's original fittings and furniture have been kept completely intact and restored to pristine condition. I suppose some people find that trip to the past feeling appealing? After all, with what it offers, this place could be a haven for people looking to live somewhere with a classic historical charm.
Miss McCullough, I'm Rose Cooper, and this is my partner, Isabella Santos. We're just ironing out a few things, but we'll be starting the tour soon enough. In the meantime, we've prepared some refreshments for you in the parlor while you're waiting. If you could please...
Thanks. There's no need for it, though. I just dropped by for a quick survey of the place. I thought I should check the estate before I meet with the homeowners.
Rose's confusion is impossible to miss when she glances at me, and I return it with an equally perplexed look. And, against my better judgment, I blurt out the first question that comes to mind.
I'm sorry. Homeowners?
I should have kept my mouth shut. A flash of irritation crosses her face, but it instantly disappears under a mask of professional detachment.
Yes, Hannah right? She hired me to handle the interior design for their new home.
This is the Ermengarde mansion, right?
It is, but...
She pauses, possibly trying to find the right words to fix the awkward situation without offending someone. Suddenly, Rose nudges me with her elbow. So, this is, from last episode, this is another one of those choices that I had already made. I think this may be the last one. The options are to check with our supervisor or say that we don't know. And last time what I had mentioned was that checking with our supervisor made us seem like, well, maybe there's an update we don't have, whereas I don't know kind of made us seem unsure and incompetent. So we went with that last time, we'll go with it this time. Those few moments have given me enough time to clear my head of any nervousness or confusion clouding it.
It is, ma'am, but we weren't aware the mansion has already been sold.
What do you mean?
I almost flinch when she turns her gaze on me, but I stand my ground. Besides, it isn't like I haven't dealt with awkward situations like this before. I may screw up at times, but that doesn't mean I haven't learned a thing or two in the 5 years I've worked in the business.
The mansion is indeed for sale, ma'am. Today's the open house, in fact. However, we haven't heard anything from the higher-ups that a deal has already been closed for this particular property. If you'd like, my co-agent and me can check with them right now.
She nods, seemingly deep in thought after I've finished. She appears to be a reasonable person anyway. Given the proper explanation, she'd surely understand.
I thought something looked odd. Excuse me, I need to call my secretary.
Thank you for your assistance, Miss Santos.
With a slight wave of her hand, she leaves us. That seems to be the end of it. Both Rose and I breathe a sigh of relief. Disaster averted. I also don't miss the thumbs up she gives me for doing a good job, and I can't help but swell with pride. Still, I've already prepared myself to dial the number for our Luxborn office and check, even if she didn't ask for it. I will be very frustrated if, for some reason, something has already been decided without my or Rose's knowledge. That's a whole new level of unfair. We've been working hard on this. Moments later, Miss McCullough returns, looking a little frustrated, but with an apology clear in her face. I feel a little sorry for her having to go through all this trouble.
There seems to have been a little misunderstanding with my client. If you'll allow it, I'd like to stay and wait for them here. I was informed they'll be dropping by for the open house today. I figured it'd be a waste to just leave after that long drive. I might as well meet him here.
Certainly. You could stay at the parlor in the meantime, ma'am. I'm sure it won't be long before our guests arrive. And, Isabella? I left a few documents in my car. You know where I keep those. Can you please get it for me?
Rose takes a glance at her wristwatch before tossing me a set of keys.
And hurry! We've still got a few minutes to double-check those papers.
Okay, got it.
Two of them disappear behind the parlor's door. Their departure brings with it a stillness to keep me company, neither welcoming nor comforting. Alone, like this, it's impossible not to think of what really happened. I wish the memory isn't as elusive as it normally is. And again, Rose already said she didn't receive any call from me. Was it just paranoia? A temporary lapse after having heard those tales about this place? Probably. I want to think of it as such. Better to think of it as such, so I can work in peace. Except a small part of my mind begs to differ. And if I want to be completely honest with myself, I want nothing more than to leave this place as soon as possible. I don't know what's in this house, and I don't want to know. The keys Rose just handed me dig into my palm, its jagged edges creating shallow ridges on my skin from how hard I'm clutching it. It's a reminder of what I still need to do and why I've taken this job in the first place. Hugging my blazer closer to my body, I exit the house to get what Rose has asked of me. Just a few more hours, Isabella. Sell the house, get the money. A flock of people have already gathered in the mansion's front yard by the time we officially open the doors. I'm not sure whether I should feel baffled or underdressed standing in their presence. Men and women of wealth and status, all dressed to the nines in fancy suits and lovely dresses of varying colors, compose the medium-sized crowd. Their necks, arms, and fingers adorned with silver and gold, glinting in the afternoon sun. Some even have ridiculously fancy feathered hats on their heads. I really hope there aren't any magpies living nearby, like in the stories. Those birds would have a field day in this. They are murmuring amongst themselves, looking at the estate's facade appraisingly, with some arguing about whose mansion has the superior architecture. But most of it stops when Rose calls for their attention. They don't look too pleased at being ordered around, but what can they do about it?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Rose Cooper, and this is my partner, Isabella Santos. We'll be taking a tour of the mansion in 2 groups. Please make sure you filled up our sign-in forms before joining a specific group.
Those who want to look around the first floor, please follow my partner. I'll be guiding the ones who wish to see the ground floor.
Hearing this, a few wander to me. They are mostly old ladies who seem daunted at the idea of climbing all those stairs. Miss McCullough also joins our group, but what really catches my eye is the elegantly dressed pair as she approaches.
It's so nice to finally meet you! When Chief Inspector Lee mentioned that a famous interior designer is in town, I knew I had to get you!
Your confidence in my skills is very flattering, ma'am.
I'm sure you won't disappoint, Marianne.
Oh, you know each other?
Not at all, ma'am.
You mentioned something about a Marianne on our way here, darling?
Oh, yes, I think I did.
Ah, that must be the client she was talking about. I might have seen their faces somewhere before, or some magazine or television. I can't quite remember. But then again, most of our guests have likely ended up on the news, one way or another. I won't be surprised if these two already have. For people who are popular, though, they're dressed as loudly as the others, and in their simplicity, the couple stands out. The woman, in particular, is stunning enough to turn the heads of most people in my group, especially the men with wandering eyes. The guy standing beside her doesn't seem to mind, though. And if I'm going to be a bit bolder with my assumptions, I'd say he's basking in the attention. Both of them, in fact. I'd think they were brother and sister if they weren't for their public display of affection. Their matching rings on their fingers just cement the fact that they are indeed a couple. Whatever. Couple or not, what's important is we get this deal closed before the current owners can even think of canceling the listing. I just hope one of the people in my group, or Rose's group, is brave and generous enough to buy this mansion. And so, papers in hand, I lead the way. When they aren't whispering amongst themselves, or going ooh or ah over one thing or another, they ask questions. From how the restoration process went to the history of the place, I answer them all. More than happy to talk about the art pieces and the architecture, mostly. However, I'm careful not to mention anything about the urban legend. Not a good material for sales talk, even if the entire population of Luxborn knows about it.
Some of the furnishings here are actually the 17th century originals, all of which have undergone a painstaking restoration process just to return its original beauty.
Even the glass thing. Colorful ones. Oh, I don't know, but you get the idea, I hope.
Especially that one, ma'am. It is said to be a gift commissioned by the fiancé of Lady Charlotte Ermengarde. The mansion's current owners have specifically requested that the restoration crew take great care in handling it. It's a priceless work of art and the most distinctive feature of the mansion.
By the time I've stopped talking, her attention is already elsewhere.
Isn't this place wonderful, darling? I told you it's not a total waste of your time.
I don't know. Isn't it a bit too small? We might have to break a wall down to have more room.
Well, I think it is just right. Don't you think so, Marianne?
It is splendid, ma'am. But isn't it a little too early to make plans when no deal has been signed yet?
Never mind that. It isn't going to be a problem. We've got a wonderful legal team to handle everything. Start taking notes, though. I think I've got a few things I want changed before we move in.
The rest of their conversation gets lost in the chatter of our companions. I don't want to make any assumptions yet, but their sheer interest is enough to give me some semblance of hope. Oh, please, please, please let these guys be the one. Eventually, the group reaches the kitchen. Much like the rest of the house, a great deal of effort has been put in retaining the room's classical appeal. The open hearth at the end of the room, in particular, looks amazing, like the ones I've only seen in fairy tale books. And mad props to the cleaning crew. Seriously, after overhearing hundreds of their complaints about the soot and tar staining the bricks and how much of a pain in the arse cleaning this will be, they still managed to pull this off. Or make it look presentable, at least.
The highlight of the room, however, is what's underneath this hatch here.
Oh, don't say anything yet! An underground wine cellar.
This is the first time this guy in gray speaks up. Mr. Luke Wright. My memory supplies from the forms they signed earlier. His sudden attentiveness catches me off guard. It's the start of our tour. Only his wife has really shown any form of genuine interest in the place. But this time, something lights up in his eyes at the mention of the Undercroft. What's so interesting about a basement? I really don't understand rich people sometimes. Right now, he just gives me the impression of a child who's seen what he absolutely wants for Christmas. I've always found it cute whenever I see children act that way. My younger siblings especially. On a grown man? It's almost funny.
Yes, sir. It could house around 7,000 to 11,000 bottles of wine.
Truly. And the room, how was it built?
The bricks that were used to build the cellar have been carefully picked for the purpose of maintaining and preserving a constant temperature and humidity in the room. It's a good place to keep your private collection in if you have one, sir.
It keeps the corks in good condition.
Oh, love. Didn't you say before that you wanted to make your own personal vineyard? Perhaps you could start one here.
You know we're going to need space for that, darling.
And this isn't big enough?
If it's space you're worried about, sir, the Ermengarde mansion sits on a 46-acre lot. There's plenty of room for it. We were told that the original owners had a horse stable built here before, too.
There's a contemplative expression on Mr. Wright's face, but he doesn't say anything further. His wife, however, seems really pleased that he started to show interest, if only a little. I smile to myself. I may not completely understand how these people's minds work, but I sure as hell know how to spot a buyer with sincere interest. Score! Can't wait to tell Rose. The rest of our tour goes by without a hitch. After more than half an hour, we're able to cover almost every room in the ground floor. We're heading for the parlor. Funny. First time BRC had us survey the property, I kept complaining to Rose how big it is. Now, I can't even bring myself to care, no matter how much my feet hurt. Maybe this is just my excitement over a possible sale. When I reach the parlor, however, an odd feeling washes over me. It starts off as small goosebumps on my skin, a feeling of being watched intently. Whispers in my ear and shadows dancing, lurking in the corner of my vision. Dark silhouettes that are gone when I turn to look. A chill settles down my spine, making me feel sick, and I start to break out in a cold sweat. I can't do this. I need to sit down for a moment. The old ladies in the group have been requesting a break for a while now anyway. If I can just...
Excuse me? Everyone? We will be taking a 15-minute rest here before we visit the first floor. In the meantime, please help yourselves to the refreshments and snacks we've prepared. If anyone has any questions, feel free to approach me. I'd be happy to help you.
I let them sit while I retreat to a quiet corner to recover. It's not what you think. Don't think about it. It's not what you think. I've probably just caught Becca's cold. Don't think about it. I'm left alone for a good while, the same words spilling out of my lips in a silent prayer, until a hand taps my shoulder.
Hello, you there?
Yes, ma'am?
Oh, look at you. Having to show a group around a mansion this big must be exhausting.
Not a problem, ma'am. I'm just doing my job.
What a hard worker. Anyway, Isabel, right?
Isabella, actually. But yes, what can I help you with, ma'am, right?
Please, just Hana. Call me Hana. I just wanted to ask, how soon are we able to move in?
My brain completely stops. The sick feeling plaguing me is suddenly gone, replaced by utter bewilderment. Is this a joke? She looks at me expectantly as I struggle to come up with an answer.
Wait, ma'am, you see... But we haven't even negotiated a price yet, ma'am. We haven't even finished touring the rest of the mansion. A sale would be great and all, but...
She stops me from speaking any further and puts a hand on my shoulder. For a moment, with her tight smile, she looks as if she's tasted a particularly sour lemon.
Oh, please, sweetie, don't insult me. Money is not a problem. And, just between you and me, this place is better off with us than with some old lady who'll probably just fill it up with cats.
I personally don't think there's anything wrong with having cats here, ma'am Hana. I'm sure there's more than enough space here if you want pets.
Perhaps I'm still not feeling well, but really, what's wrong with cats? More importantly, why is she talking about moving in already?
Well, I'm more of a dog person. But you see, this is going to be a gift to my darling. It's going to be our anniversary soon, and it would be so wonderful if you can secure its purchase for us. Why, I can even offer something extra if you help us out with the paperwork.
We actually have a process for this, ma'am. I don't really think that would be necessary or appropriate.
And just what are you two lovely ladies talking about here? Leaving me and our lovely interior designer to talk here by ourselves. What would the people think, darling?
Oh, it's just small talk, love. I was asking if she could help me with the paperwork.
I try not to wince when her nails dig into my shoulder. I can't help but send an imploring look at Miss McCullough, who only gives me an apologetic smile and a shrug.
Yeah, I can give you a fact sheet and a form to fill out.
She wastes no time in taking the papers from my hand and shuffles through the bunch. Oh man, Rose is going to be so angry at me for letting her do that.
Wonderful. And Marianne, I'd really love to talk to you about those changes. You took some notes earlier, yes?
I did, Mom. But I really hope that this time...
Excellent. Hopefully you can help us out too, Isabel.
Isabella.
Right. It's a lovely name, Isabel.
It's Isabella.
Yes, that's great. We'll be more than happy to put in a good word to your superiors too, and... what's this?
A look of confusion and disgust appears on her face. Turning to her husband, he merely shrugs in reply.
That's, an interesting work of art. Not to my taste, though. I'm sorry.
Darling, Buttercup, art is a complete overstatement for this garbage. It looks like a cheap prop from a D-list horror film.
Shush, love. Let the girl do what she pleases with, what do they call this? Oh, forget about it. At the very least, it's not as dreadful as the one art exhibit I was forced to attend last month. You should have seen it, Marianne. Even you would have been appalled. But I'm sure you'll know what to do with our walls once we get started.
I highly doubt it is as bad as you say, Ma'am. Nevertheless, you can be assured that my team will only pick whatever suits your tastes. Nothing of this chain letter sort, of course. It has to always work with a palette.
I'm quite sure chain letters these days don't come in this form.
It's my turn to be puzzled. What do they mean? Rose and I double-checked everything. Are the papers I handed not enough? I want to ask what I did wrong. I don't want to mess this up. But with the way Mom Hana is leading the conversation, I'm afraid that's exactly what will happen if I interrupt her.
That's good to hear. See, darling, isn't she an absolute delight to work with? I can't wait to see how this place will look when she's done with it.
Oh, you don't have to tell me that, Buttercup.
The smile is back on her face when she turns to me and hands me a strange piece of paper.
I would still put it away if I were you, though. Otherwise, people might get the wrong impression. Anyway, as I was saying...
I don't hear the rest of what she says after that. I can only stare down at the paper, at the letter in my hands. Sides crinkle in my grip, and breathing grows labored. Dread quickly fills my mind.
Isabella? Isabella? Are you all right? You're looking pale.
I hadn't even noticed when Rosa's group joined us in the parlor. I want nothing more than to say, no, I am not all right. I want to leave this place. Because I remember everything as clear as day. The letter and that woman in the attic. It's real.
The letter. I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Careless. I've been so careless. How do I even tell them without looking like I've gone mad? Should I even tell them? Ah, new decision time. Do I show the letter to Rose or do I not show the letter to Rose? Well, if I show the letter to Rose, she might kind of nudge me in that direction of, well, you're crazy, and when you hit your head, we need to kick you out. If I don't show the letter, let's see, it did say to show it to 5 people or else, and let's see, we've got Luke, Hana, Marianne. Rose would make 4, but what happens to them? You know what? I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna show the letter to Rose. Let's see what Rose has to say about it. I blurred out before I could think twice about what I'm going to say.
Rose, we need to get out of here. This place is cursed.
Rose casts a nervous glance at the people in the room. Most are still engaged in a conversation with their peers, but those curious enough to turn their heads in our group's direction have given a trademark salesman smile. A tight expression is on her face when she pulls me aside.
Isabella, we've already had a conversation about this weeks ago. Those are just stories.
And I'm telling you that it's not. I saw something in there. It's not human at all. I thought it was just nothing, but isn't this letter proof enough?
She gently reaches out to pluck the paper out of my hand. Without even taking a glance at it, she folds it back neatly.
Look, I'm really getting worried about you. I know you want to see this open house through, but your condition is more important. Give me a few minutes to wrap things up here, and I'll drive you to the nearest hospital.
No! You don't understand! There isn't a condition, Rose. No concussion at all. I'm fine. But this place isn't, and you're being stubborn about it.
Before Rose could open her mouth for a retort, a hand lays on both our shoulders, pulling the two of us a distance closer.
Now, ladies, what seems to be the problem here?
Nothing, sir. I just had to clarify a few things with my colleague.
Well, it certainly seems intense. A smile fits the two of you better, in my opinion. Especially darling little Lily here.
He gives my shoulder a gentle squeeze, with an inscrutable smile that spreads across his face.
It's Isabella, sir.
Of course. But my point still stands. And with two beautiful ladies here, I'm sure.
And I'm sure little Lily here would certainly appreciate it if you remove your pretty hands from her, darling.
The pressure on my shoulder lifts as soon as those words leaves his wife's lips, while the scowl on her face is like a splash of cold water on me. It is also impossible to miss the displeased frown on Miss McCullough's face. The realization that we might lose this sale because of my outburst instantly dawns on me. Rose will be beyond pissed.
I think I need to step out for a while. I'll be back.
Bowing my head, I mutter a quick apology and gather my stuff to make a quick exit. It doesn't matter if this place is haunted or not. I've caused trouble, and Rose can be quite unforgiving of behavior like this. I'm almost at the door when she catches up to me.
Isabella, wait!
The apprehension must have been quite obvious on my face, because her expression instantly shifts to something gentler, eyes softer, a fond smile spreading on her lips.
Hey, I'm not angry.
I know. I'm sorry I ruined this for you.
Come on, you didn't ruin anything. It's not like we haven't ran into any problems before. If we don't get a deal today, we can always try on a different day. And look.
She hesitates, completely trailing off before shifting her gaze down to her hands, a small gesture to stall. Her fingers are fiddling with a piece of folded paper. It's that stupid letter again. My hands stiffen when she gives it back, but I take it nevertheless. More as an automatic response than any desire to have it back. I'll throw it away if I can. But I have this nagging feeling that one way or another, it'll find its way back to me, regardless of what I do about it.
Rose, you have to let them know about...
I know you want us to get this sale so badly. And we've made a lot of plans on how to go about this. I mean, who wouldn't? This is the first time I've been assigned to a property like this. I've sold plenty of houses before, but nothing like what we have here. It's a beautiful house. I'd love to get one of my own if I ever win the lottery. But I think... Look, here's the thing, Isabella. If we are going to do this, work on something, I don't know, this big, I need you in top shape. And the way you are now...
My mind stops.
What? Wait. No, I can still work. I just need to get myself together.
That's what you said earlier. I let it go because I thought, hey, it's your own body and you should know more than anyone how you feel. But after this, I really think you should take a break.
You're kicking me out?
No, I'm not. Look, all I'm asking is for you to take a seat somewhere I can see you, and let me handle this for now. You're clearly not yourself, and I honestly could use some time not worrying when you'll fall over or not. The day's not even over, and I'm already feeling the stress. Please, humor me just this once.
She clasps her hands in front of her, eyes pleading for understanding. And I do understand. To some extent. That doesn't mean I'll feel any less awful. Whether at myself, at the unlucky turn the situation has taken, or for her, I don't really know.
I promise I'll give you a full report of what happens after. I'll even let you take the lead tomorrow.
Fine. Okay. I'll step aside for now.
You're upset.
A little, yeah, obviously.
If it's any consolation, I won't tell the boss about today. You know how he is.
Please don't. I don't want a repeat of the lecture I got during my first assignment. He called me a noob, and I don't even know what that means.
At the memory, we both burst into helpless giggles, earning us strange looks from the guests milling about the door. Talking and laughing like this, it's easy to forget any mishaps that happened. Little things you learn to appreciate, I guess.
So, are we good?
I'm still not okay with it, but Rose has a point. It's better for me to step out of this for now.
I won't be able to help you anyways if I keep getting distracted like this. Maybe I'll just take a walk outside or something while I wait for you to wrap things up.
Please, just stay put. I insist.
I'm not an invalid, Rose.
You clearly have not seen how you looked earlier.
It's not that bad.
Color hasn't even returned to your cheeks yet. Just stay here, all right? Don't even think of going anywhere. Let me finish what I'm doing here, and then I'll take you back to Luxembourg myself to have that minor bump checked. At least wait for me to call someone who'll fetch you, okay?
She's gone before I can voice one word of complaint. Left with nothing else to do, I find myself drifting back to the foyer. A few visitors linger in the area, some merely enjoying the afternoon sunlight streaming through the stained glass windows. Others can be seen admiring the priceless antiques decorating the room. One group of elderlies, gathered in some ways across from me, is occupied in a friendly banter about which one would cost more to buy. A little argument here, occasional laughter and teasing there. I smile to myself. Conversation reminds me of what I've been missing these last few months. Rose is probably right. I do need a break. Maybe this afternoon's hangout will help. Speaking of, I should call Ash. It's a few hours early from what I've told him, but did ask for me to call once I'm done. Besides, I don't have a ride back. He offered, so might as well take it. Or bribe him into giving me one. Not that he'll ever accept the latter, personal convictions and all. Honestly, there's something I find admirable in him, despite his tendency to annoy the hell out of me. It's that. Well, whatever way works. A free ride is still a free ride. There's Rose's offer too, but despite what she says, I know she'll be busy for the rest of the afternoon, especially without me assisting. Bothering her for a favor as small as this is the last thing I want to do right now. A couple of minutes and a few prayers asking for a decent signal later, the call finally connects, and
Shit!
Sup, I'm Ash from
What?
Deluxe City. Baggers,
Shit, how
watch
loud
out.
is this thing
Can't
even-
beat me. Looking for trouble? Better
sharp
not
ringing
lie.
fills the
I'm a
entire
cool
hall,
dude. Pretty
disrupting
fly
the
for an
pleasant
Asian
quiet
guy.
that has settled.
Sup, I'm
Soon
Ash
enough,
from
heads begin to
Deluxe
turn in
City.
search of the
Baggers,
source,
watch
mine
out.
included.
Can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not lie.
My eyes
I'm a
dart
cool
around the
dude.
small
Pretty
crew
fly for an Asian
before
guy.
zeroing in on a lone
Sup, I'm
figure
Ash from
crouched behind the
Deluxe City.
same group of old
Baggers,
people,
watch out.
checking out the
Can't beat
decors
me.
moments
Looking
ago.
for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude.
He is
Pretty
facing
fly
away
for
from
an
me,
Asian guy.
fumbling with something in his
Sup, I'm
hands.
Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out. Can't beat me.
But I don't need to
Looking
see
for
his
trouble?
face to know whose
Better
back it
not
is.
lie. I'm a cool dude. Pretty fly for an Asian guy. Sup, I'm Ash from
Oh, I'd
Deluxe
recognize
City.
that dumb parka
Baggers, watch
anywhere.
out. Can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude.
Not
Pretty
bothering to end
fly
the
for an
call, I
Asian
march
guy.
towards him.
Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out. Can't beat me.
After what happened
Looking
today,
for trouble?
I'm really not
Better
in the mood
not
to deal with
lie.
this.
I'm a cool dude. Pretty fly for an Asian guy. Sup,
Of
I'm
all the
Ash from
times to-
Deluxe City.
Ashton Frey!
What happens next is something I'll surely regret for not having recorded.
Ah!
He jumps, lets out an undignified yelp, followed by his phone slipping from his grip. It bounces from one hand to the other in his poor attempt to catch it, before ultimately falling flat on the floor with a resounding clack. Kind of feel sorry for the phone. And the floor. But it's not every day you can catch someone like Ash off guard and get a reaction. Damn his stupid detective senses. He'll take every ounce of victory I can get, no matter how small. Ha! An awkward pause passes between us. A blink. A cough. He makes a face. And then, in a too quick motion, he ducks and retrieves his abused gadget, while a grin threatens to break out from my lips. He doesn't meet my eyes when he straightens, but a flush has crept up his neck and cheeks. In another universe, where we haven't known each other for 5 years, and suffering through his teasing is a day-to-day occurrence, chances are I'd find that adorable. Endearing, even. Unfortunately, this isn't that kind of world. The way things are, I'm already content to see him out of his obnoxiously calm and collected disposition.
Hello to you too, scaredy cat. I could stand to be greeted like a normal person, you know.
What? And miss that look on your face? No way. Oh man, I should have taken a picture.
I am so honored you find this funny. Is that how you treat your guests? I think I need to talk to your supervisor.
Talk to yourself. You aren't even a guest here. What are you doing here in the first place?
For a moment, he looks like a cat that swallowed the canary. Suddenly, checking every nook and cranny in his phone for any damages or scratches seems to be more interesting activity than explaining himself.
Ash,
I could be looking to buy a house.
a mansion?
Yeah, why not? Did you see the view outside? It doesn't look haunted to me at all.
He's messing with me.
Ashton, I am not in the mood. What are you doing here?
Chances a glimpse at something behind me. A parlor? Curious, I follow his gaze, but before I can figure it out, what has caught his attention, he places a hand on my shoulder and turns me back to face him.
I just finished working on something, so I dropped by.
I still don't know how his work has anything to do with why he's here. At my confused look, he drops the hand resting on my arm. He has touched something particularly hot and casually rubs the back of his neck.
And I said I'll see if I can pick you up. Turns out I can. Free time and all. So here I am. Figured you'd still be busy, and so I roamed around for a while.
Oh, you should have mentioned that sooner. I was about to throw you out.
Throw me? Hey, I was given a pamphlet. I think that makes me a legitimate client.
We have mandatory sign-in sheets for clients, Ash. I didn't see your name on it. And you can't just roam around because it says open house. Normal people actually follow an etiquette here.
Right, okay. I think I'll just go ahead and...
No, wait. I wasn't really going to throw you out. Rose said... Never mind. I was just about to leave anyway.
Wait, what? Now?
Something must have shown in my face, because he pauses and gives me a long, hard stare. Sometimes I forget how easily reading people is for Ash, given how he often looks as if everything around him is a chore. I avoid his eyes, hoping he'll drop the subject and won't ask any more questions. The last thing I want is to tell him what happened, especially the part about the letter. In fact, he's the last person on Earth I'll even think about telling it to if I can help it. Sure, he's a dependable guy. God knows how many times he's helped me, even without me asking for it. But stuff like ghosts and the supernatural, he'll never believe those, even if he hears them from a friend. Except maybe if it's Becca. On a good day, the most harmless thing he'll do is give you an explanation why those things have no chance of ever being real. At worst, he's insufferable. He'll poke fun at you every single chance he'll get. Asshole. What did I ever do to him? He never does that to Becca or Zach. I can already imagine how things will go down the moment I spill a word of what I saw. Nope. Over my dead body. Before it catches his attention, I shove the letter deep into my bag.
What's wrong?
Nothing. Let's just go.
Doesn't look like a nothing to me.
We still have Zach's movie tonight, remember?
It's still early. And didn't you say your shift will end around 5 or 6? What about... Hey, Isabella, wait up!
A rush of air greets me as soon as the main door opens. Not the usual autumn draft, but it's still a welcoming change from the stifling atmosphere inside the mansion. Ash's footsteps are quick behind me, the soles of his shoes thumping hard against the polished concrete in an awkward cadence as he rushes to catch up. He calls out once, twice. The mansion still looms in the background. Whispers calling me back, shadows beckoning. I don't look back. Okay, that is a wonderful place for us to stop for today. We made it through the Haunted Mansion, we did the whole tour, and only freaked out a couple of people. So, we'll call it there for today, and we will pick up next time and see where things go. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye-bye.